And just like that, we are back at the top of another Savage stream, and I'm already slurring. I'm like four, I don't know, I'm about 4 in, maybe even 5 fire teas in, so I'm doing all right. I did some meal prepping. I cooked a whole bunch of steak and bacon wrapped chicken strips and lean burgers, beef patties. And because I do meal prep, so I cooked about 32 meals, something like that. And, I freeze them and stuff like that. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. I don't have anything like planned as far as like content or anything like that. I figured we would just hang out. I know we probably should talk about the Raven coin situation. I brought it up last night. There's not much more information about it, although it just kind of sucks altogether. Because it was basically the first, hiccup that the whole project had ever had. So it's one of those things where it's like, it just sucks. A lot of people are saying some pretty rough things about Ravencoin. I don't think that it's warranted. I think that, look, Bitcoin had a similar vulnerability last year that was found. I think it was last year that was found by Bitcoin Cash developers, and it was similar to this vulnerability, and it was not much to do about, right? I mean, no one really even mentioned it. It was not a real big deal, and it's unfortunate because they minted like 315 million, something like that. Which basically, and they've already sold it, apparently they've already sold a large portion of it, or maybe all of it, on exchanges for about 5.7 million. That sucks, But you know what? To be honest, it's not even like we're not used to it. We've seen what has been going on with Ravencoin for many years. I mean, well, for at least a year, right? With ASICs and all that stuff that was going, and FPGAs. I mean, people every day they're dumping millions of Raven on the exchanges and stuff like that. So this is not that bad with regard to the value, and you can kind of see that right here. I mean, it's only down 1.3% today, so it's down 0.002 from about where it was whenever the hack occurred, right, or it was discovered. So, I mean, it's kind of resilient. I don't think it's not doing a whole lot. I mean, it's not like crashing or anything. We've been at Ravencoin, 2-cent Ravencoin for a really long time now. So, I just don't think that it's as bad as some people are saying. So, I don't know. Let's look over here and see. I mean, we've been at around, although it did kind of dump down to, it was 0.014, I guess, maybe whenever everything was discovered. No, that was way back when. Okay, so never mind. Let me go let me go 24 hours. Yeah, so it did go down to, it's almost where it is now, 0.018. So I mean, it's almost like a non-event, and because they discovered it and they're going to fix it, and I did a stream on it last night. We were able to update our wallet. That's pretty much all you have to do as a holder or as a miner. Exchanges, they need to update their software on their end to 4.2 or better. Pools need to update their software. Other than that, okay, so there's 315 million additional Raven. It looks like the devs are discussing maybe pushing up the first halving, to where basically it's 44 days earlier than what it would have been, and that will compensate for the minted Raven. There's other things that they could do. They could somehow burn some Raven, in support of the community, and like, hey, we're gonna burn 315 million Raven, right? And that way it'll level out the total supply of 21 billion. That's another option. I think that probably what will happen, most likely, is they're going to move the halving date, or the halving block, block height, or whatever, however they're going to do it. I think that that's probably what they're going to do. That's just my opinion. I don't know what they're going to do, but they need to do something to level it out. 315 million, that's about 1.5% of the total supply, so it's pretty significant. It's not like it's nothing. On last night's stream, I was kind of like, it seemed like it wasn't that big of a deal. But after I got to looking into it a little bit further, because it had just happened basically, or just been announced whenever I went live. So within a few hours of me going live last night. So I got into it a little bit more today, and I saw that, 1.5% of the total supply is pretty significant. That's 315 million. Basically $5.7 million worth of Raven coin. So it is significant, and I think that they'll probably have to do something. But if you look at the value right now, I mean, it's barely moving. It's down 0.002, since it was discovered. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It seems like not that big of a deal, but that's just me looking at it from a distance. I don't have a huge bag of Raven, so I'm not really that worried about it anyway. I do like mining it from time to time, and I've done a lot of content on it. I've done a lot of assets and all that stuff, and apparently the assets part of it is completely safe because this had to do with an inflation bug on the Coinbase of mined coins. So that it seems like, from what they were saying, it was really sophisticated and something that really took a lot of planning to do. It wasn't like just something that was thrown in there and easily exploited. It took a lot of planning to do this. And anyway, so the devs at CryptoScope, they were the ones that discovered it and mentioned it to, let me see if I can find, let's see, these guys here that created this Explorer for Ravencoin, the devs at CryptoScope were the ones that announced it or let the core devs of Ravencoin know about it. So kudos to them for actually mentioning it and getting it recognized and noticed. The rogue actors, the malicious folks, they basically allegedly inflated the 5,000 Raven Coinbase per block logic that's baked into the protocol to have additional Raven that they then I guess that it was then transferred to them basically automatically, right, to an address that they control, and then that was sold on exchanges or transferred to exchanges and sold. It's really unfortunate, and it's a horrible look for Ravencoin, because Ravencoin has been going for 2 years now, really solid, more than 2 years, really solid, no problems, hitting all the, not that they have a total roadmap or anything, but they do have a roadmap. But what I mean is, they're rolling in things as they said they would, in the beginning. So, to have this happen, it's really unfortunate, but I don't see it as like a deal breaker for supporting Ravencoin. I think that it's something that happens, right? This is open source code. Someone generated some code, pull request, and it was implemented into a fork. I don't know exactly which fork it was implemented in yet. I think someone asked, I want to say that someone asked Bruce Fenton when it was actually implemented. I want to say that he said that he wasn't sure what fork it was implemented in. Somewhere in here, I'm not going to be able to find it probably, but in here, Bruce Fenton, he's pretty closely related to Ravencoin, and he said that somewhere in here he did say that they're not sure where it was actually implemented in, which fork it was a part of. So all this is coming out. They're not going to give any details, they're not going to disclose any real details of the vulnerability until it's completely fixed and the network is upgraded. So we just kind of have to wait on the details. But I think that probably they're going to shift the date, and this is probably going to go for a vote from the community. They're probably going to go for the shifting of the halving date to 44 days earlier, because that's basically what they did. They mined or minted about 44 days worth of Raven, basically like an inflation bug. And if they shifted the halving date to 44 days earlier, then they could compensate for that, and the overall supply of the coin would be static or the same as it was before, which would be 21 billion. So whether they do that or not, I don't know what they're going to do. But yeah, this is not good. It's quite a lot of news on it, a lot of coverage. It seems like it's being a little bit bigger than it probably is in reality, because like I said, Bitcoin experienced the same type of bug early on and as recently as last year, with not much of a to do about it. So I don't know, yeah, Bruce's tweet here was all about the vulnerability. I just don't remember. Somewhere in here he was asked about what the fork was or what the code implementation method was, and he said he wasn't sure. So I'm sure that the core devs know, probably at this point they know exactly when it was implemented and when all the details and everything occurred. So we'll see. All right, I'm gonna check the chat. I'll probably get totally distracted over here. What you guys talking about over here? What's up, Yashnik? What's up, Red Panda? What's up, Cryptith? Chancoin. I'm probably going to miss some people because I started at the top or in the middle. Dan the Dane. What's up, Chris Anderson? Chancoin. What's up, man? Sonia Neer. What is going on? Thanks for hanging out. What's up, Tech Man? Yeah, Techman, Raven coin is not one of those coins that you mine for like huge profitability, although, if you go to what to mine right now and like on my NVIDIA rig, if I was to calculate profitability based on my 10.3 cents per kilowatt hour, it is literally at the top, right? So profitability wise, it's okay. It looks like I'm, would be mining about 230 a day roughly, but it's just not a, it's a miner's coin for sure. People, even in the very beginning, people just love mining it, and because it is completely open source, there's no CEO, there was no dev fee or developers fund or anything like that, no ICO, all that stuff. It was really close to what the launch of Bitcoin was, right? So, it is a miner's coin. People love it. Miners love it because of that. The decentralization. Then they had the problems with the FPGAs, the ASICs. That was a dark. Those were dark days as well, because we went through several months, quite a few months of just being dominated by FPGAs and ASICs on the Ravencoin network. And until they forked to CawPow, that was pretty much the case. And now, that they're on CawPow, it seems quite profitable for GPUs. If you put your rigs on NiceHash, a lot of times NiceHash is gonna throw you on CawPow algorithm, because it's the most profitable. So as far as like, you mentioned Techman, let's see here. You said a couple of things here. The fundamentals of Ravencoin is what is so interesting, right? The asset layer, the creating the assets on the Ravencoin network. I've got plenty of videos, quite a few videos on my channel about Ravencoin assets and how to create them. The whole the security tokens, that aspect of it as well. They implemented a lot of changes that made them able to support those types of assets. They're kind of like the first project to implement assets on its network, you know, so you can create Techman TY asset on the Ravencoin network, and then eventually at some point, it's not implemented yet, but at some point you will be able to trade those on, potentially trade those on exchanges. So for example, you know, I have SavageMine tokens created, and I could, if an exchange wanted to support it, they could. You know, now in the future, not right now, but in the future, that is going to be implemented as well. You know, the whole goal behind Ravencoin was to create a network that assets can be easily created, you know, and transferred from one user to another. And there's all kinds of other feature sets that are in the future upgrades of Ravencoin that are going to make it even more important when it comes to trading or registering, however you want to look at it, assets on the network. You could literally, you know, a good example is, let's say that you let's say that I owned an apartment complex with 500 units, okay? So I could create an asset for that apartment complex and take and allow people to buy portions of it as little as 1 token, right? So I could put that out there on the Ravencoin network and allow people to purchase portions of that that apartment complex that I own, and then they would own portions of it. You follow what I'm saying? And then any profits that is generated by that apartment complex could be distributed to the shareholders or the token holders and it could be distributed in a way that represents their holdings. So in other words, if someone owns, you know, 20% of the total tokens for that particular apartment complex, then they would get 20% of the profits, right? So, I mean, those types of things, you know, I only see blockchain technology and those types of technology getting more and more ubiquitous, you know, in the overall scheme of things. I think that you're going to see the tokenization of a lot of things. You already see it with art. You know, there's a lot of, you know, artists out there that are putting their assets on the Ravencoin network and selling them and selling portions of them, and also tracking them for, you know, basically people stealing them, right? So I don't know. I mean, I like Ravencoin. I've always liked it since the very beginning. Again, this is just one of those weird things that happens, you know, with open source software, and it's just unfortunate. It just happened, you know. But again, I think that they're making it a little bit more of a big deal than it actually is, given that other projects have experienced similar vulnerabilities recently, and that other project is Bitcoin, you know, last year. So I don't know. It's not affecting the value that, you know, right away that much. So I think that, you know, if you're holding Ravencoin, I think you're okay. I don't think that it's going to just completely dump. Although, you know, I don't know if all of the exchanges and all the pools and everything have updated their software, right? So, you know, once they, and I don't know whether or not all the exchanges are, you know, open again, right, for trading. So I don't know how that's going to play out over the weekend. Let's say that, you know, I don't know, but let's say that Binance isn't open yet. What are some of the other, you know, Bittrex, Upbit, maybe they're not open for trading, although it says, I don't know if they're actually open for trading. So let's say that they're not, and then they open. I don't know what kind of impact that's going to have, you know. All right, I'm going to look at the chat again, see what y'all are up to. Red Panda Mining, what are you painting? Techman, yes, you could do that with a silver cash and assign an ounce of silver to each token. Yep, you could do something like that. And I've done content on that, you know, about how assets would work. Again, it's not something that, you know, at this point, there in some areas there is an effort to legitimize and make it official whenever you represent a physical asset in the physical world as an asset on a blockchain. Okay, so that I want to say it's I'm gonna get this wrong, but I want to say it's Wyoming. It's somewhere out there in the Midwest, I think, that has this as part of their law, right? And I think that I'm going to totally get distracted. Dane's over here telling me to read his message. What are we giving away? Damn it, Dane. What are we giving away? Are you giving away a 1660? Okay, cool. We can do that. All right, I'm trying to catch up here. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Oh, about 2K giveaway. Yeah, I'm not really ready for that just yet. All right. Red Panda's talking about giving an ETC away. All right. Let's do this. Let's schedule this up and do this next week. Not tonight. All right. Yeah, I think I'm caught up. Yeah. Let's not do that tonight. I'm not in the right I'm not right up here to do giveaways right now. So just give me a little bit of time to work on that. We'll do it next week. You know, I just went over 2,000 and I don't gain like 500 subs a day like Red Panda Mining. So, you know, I'm at like 2010 right now, right? So it's not like it's going to be crazy. Like I'm going to miss out on 3,000 or some crazy number like that. Okay. So we'll do it next week. It'll be fine. Yeah, that'll be fun. And not only that, but next week will be the week leading up to the poker tournament, the charity poker tournament that we've been talking about. Hopefully, Red Panda Mining. I haven't watched his most recent video. Actually, I watched part of it. I didn't watch all of it, but hopefully he's promoting it. Yeah, see, that's like a slap in the face right there. 50 to 100 a day. That's like, I get maybe 100 a month. 100 a month is like a really good month for me. And you can see that in my, my number of subscribers, because I actually started before Red Panda Mining. So, yeah, so YouTube just hates me. Probably all that stuff I talked about YouTube early on. That's probably why because I say YouTube and then they like, it's like, nah, don't promote his videos or anything like that. So anyway, so back to Ravencoin and the assets. So there are some areas that actually support them legally, right? But if I were to do something like that right now, then, legally, I guess it wouldn't really be ownership of the apartment complex, right? So there's a little bit once that stuff is worked out legally on the legal side and with the states and the local government and all that stuff, then it'll be really cool to see things like that happen, because a normal person could, like, let's say you're looking at a skyscraper downtown, and in downtown it's a huge multi-million-dollar skyscraper, right? Think about a normal citizen being able to buy a portion of that. without buying like a stock in the company or anything, right? We're just talking about the real estate aspect of it in general. So you could buy like a portion of the Empire State Building, for example. Think about how cool that is. And then based on the rent and the potential profits, it could be distributed to you. And that is something that the Ravencoin network supports. I know that's grandiose. I know that that's something that's crazy, hard to comprehend, but that is what it's designed to do. So from the ground up, that's what Ravencoin is designed to do. So I think we're going to be okay. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling about Ravencoin, but I had a bunch of other like articles and stuff up here, but I didn't bring them up. You guys distracted me a few times. Good on you. So yeah. Yeah, we need to, we've only got a week left, Red Panda, man. Let's see how many people are over here. There's only, here's all the players. Does it have a number on here? I don't see a number. But these are all the people that have signed up to the club. This is not the people that have signed up to the tournament. The tournament is only a few people. Only 6 people have enrolled. Okay, so yeah, we really need to get this worked out because only 6 people. That's not even one full table. So you guys need to do a little bit of promoting. I think that we could get. At first, whenever I was first looking at this, I was thinking about hundreds, but good grief, I'm thinking we could maybe get 20 by next Saturday before the tournament. So I mean, we're at 6 now. Yeah, I think 20 would be a pretty good number. And this is just for charity, guys. This is not like playing poker for real or gambling or anything like that. This is just goofing around, and you're able to play against Red Panda and myself and other YouTubers like Serpent X and stuff. So I think it's really cool. And I think that if you as a subscriber, viewer, follower, whatever, you get to sit down to a poker table with your maybe your favorite YouTuber and other subscribers, right, and play against them in a hand of poker. So I think that's kind of cool in a poker tournament. So I don't know. I like it. I think it's a good idea. I thought it would be much more popular than it is, but again, I mentioned that last night. I think that it seems like maybe poker's kind of dying off. It's been pretty hot for like 20 years now, so 18 years or so as far as online goes. Let's see. We got, I think that DCA Adventure, yeah, they're going live here soon. Some folks are already in there, so be sure to go over there to their channel, check them out, do a little Savage Raid action. Whenever you get over there, let them know that you came from over here. And yeah, cool stuff. I'm not giving you my Raven address, Dan. Sorry, bud. What is it for? Is it for a giveaway or something? What are we talking about? Yeah, Red Panda, thanks, man. We really, I don't know. I think that we need to get to promoting it. I think it's pretty solid. The way the tournament's set up, I think is good. I think it's all set up. It's good to go, man. I think that we could get a lot of people in there. I'm working on a few other people, that almost like surprise guests, but it's going to be really hard to get them in there and registered and everything with it being like a total surprise, right? So it's going to be kind of hard. So sometime during the week, you might see a few people pop in there that will be a little bit of a surprise. I think it'll be kind of neat to do that. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, Shubi, that's what I mentioned that last night. I think that I did mention that you sent $50 in ETH, in Ethereum, and that I would probably use that as a giveaway. Next week's probably going to be like basically full of giveaways at least for my streams, because you know you've got the $50 in ETH that you sent, and I'll probably do like 5 entry fees, or maybe even, I mean, I started thinking about this with the whole donations to entry fee charity poker tournament thing. I mean, it really doesn't matter, in my opinion anyway. I don't know, we need to probably talk about this, but it really doesn't matter if there's, you know, a $1 donation or a $10 donation or a $50 donation or whatever to the address, that whatever it is, that should be their entry fee, you know, to the tournament. I think that probably will maybe open it up to more, because not everybody can throw in $10. You know, maybe you could donate maybe $2 or $5 or something like that and still be able to play in the tournament. I think that would be kind of cool. Since it is for charity anyway, so it's almost, you know, you're not paying an entry fee. It's just kind of like, hey, we expect you to donate something to the addresses so that you can play in the tournament. That's really all it is. So I think it'll be fun. Yeah, I've been getting crushed on our little poker game. Yashnik's in there just running over the table, you know. All right, so DCA Adventure is up. We will head over there to check them out. I will see you guys probably not until Monday. I don't know. I've got some things working, so maybe I'll do a live stream this weekend too. We'll see. But hopefully you like this. I know I was just talking about Ravencoin the whole time and poker and stuff, but you know, I was kind of winging it. I didn't have a plan, so hopefully you enjoyed it. If you found it interesting or entertaining, please be sure to subscribe and smash the bell and all that junk that you're supposed to do to help out the YouTube algorithm and help out the channel a little bit. I will see you guys next time. Stay savage, everybody.